Good morning, my friends. Welcome back to another video. First off, let me apologize for all that noise that's going outside. I have no control over that. They're doing some sort of construction with a jackhammer and it's super noisy while I'm trying to enjoy my cranberry juice here. How many of you guys like cranberry juice? Plug it in the comments, let me know. But anyways, quick video for you guys. What I wanted to kind of do is compare a modern high-range budget device, or what I call a budget flagship, versus a 3-year-old flagship. And they're under the same umbrella, so it's not like it's two different brands. And so I just wanted to talk about it real quick to kind of answer a question that some may have. Should they go for a budget flagship device under the Pixel umbrella, or should they go with a 3-year-old flagship such as the Pixel 7? That's a very good question, because honestly, when it comes to these two devices, I'll tell you guys up front, there's not much of a difference between them when you think about it, fluid-wise, performance-wise. There's just not. There's not a lot of difference. The Tensor G2 processor, the Tensor G4 processor, their power is, on point with each other. There are apps that, for example, we'll do an app test real quick. We'll open some apps. People like to see that. So yeah, let's start off with Facebook. Let's do Facebook. I mean, they're pretty much similar. If you'd have to do that in like a slow-mo, very super slow-mo, to see which one was actually faster. Let's open up X. Pixel 7 opened a little bit quicker. Let's do Instagram. Pixel 9a was a bit faster, but it's not by much, right? It's very marginal difference. Let's open up YouTube. Yeah. It's not a whole lot. Let's see. Let's open up Threads. They're about like the same. So when you just kind of like cycle back through, I mean, so far, RAM management is okay. Yeah, RAM management seems to be just fine. Just fine in my opinion. So I think when it comes down to these devices, it's going to be really compared on this level, right? So I'll have a couple of samples here for you guys. The cameras, right? Photography, that's going to be the thing. 48 megapixel shooter on the Pixel 9a and a 50 megapixel shooter on the Pixel 7. So that would be one area where people will make a judgment to decide which would probably be the best option for them. You're also going to be considering build quality between these devices, right? You got plastic back, aluminum side rails on the Pixel 9a, and then you got a metal side rail with glass back on the Pixel 7. And then, of course, you have the camera bar on the Pixel 7. You have no camera bar on the Pixel 9a. The cameras sit flushed. And so, I mean, there's that. There's the battery difference between them. I forgot what the battery is on the Pixel 7. I think it's a 4700 or 4600 milliamp hour battery in the Pixel 7. 5100 milliamp in the Pixel 9a. So the Pixel 9a obviously having a much larger battery. And I can tell you guys, battery life between the 9a and the 7. The 9a, I can get close to 2 days of battery life on it with the way that I use my phone. So heavily, yeah, I can bring the battery down and have to charge it at night. But if I'm doing my normal thing, just social media and stuff like that, I'm not, editing a whole lot of videos on the Pixel 9a, then I can get I can, take it off the charger at 6 in the morning, take my kids to school, go through my usual day, social media, go to bed, wake up, use it some more. Probably about 1 or 2 in the afternoon is when I'll have to throw it on the charger to charge it back up. For the Pixel 7, it doesn't matter if I try to make it sit battery or if I, heavily use it. I'm going to end up charging it sometime in the same day or by end of day. So it just depends on how I'm using it. If I'm editing videos, then I'll have to like top it up throughout the, at least one time in the day, and then, charge it again at night while I sleep. But if I'm just doing social media, I'll make it through the day. By the time I go to bed, maybe this is like 20% left, I'll throw it on a charger. And more than likely, it's got a new battery inside of it. Obviously, the people I got it from refurbished the phone, and they probably put a brand new battery inside of it, because I wouldn't expect its battery life to be as good as I'm getting right now. With my original Pixel 7, for the years that I've been using it, I know for a fact that, the screen on time average on my original Pixel 7, my screen on time average was like 3.5 hours. And this one is getting about 4 to 5 hours. So that's actually pretty good. But, before I do a video on that, I still got to test it out. It's only been a couple of days. It's still learning the way that I use a phone. It should wrap that up here soon. But anyways, yeah. So that's really, just the thought process in all of this. Like, what do you really go for? Do you go for the newer Pixel with 7 years of like software support? Because that's the other thing too. The Pixel 7 does not get 7 years of software support. They did extend its life by another 2 major software updates. It's still within that 5-year range. So 2027 would be the end of life for the Pixel 7. This year is the end of life for the Pixel 6. So yeah, definitely you guys want to keep that in mind when it comes down to that. But yeah, if you guys plug it in the comments, you guys let me know, which would you go for? The newer budget flagship, the Pixel 9a, or would you rather go for the Pixel 7? Because the pricing on the Pixel 7, you can find them for like 120 to 160 bucks at best. Immaculate condition, maybe 200 bucks. The Pixel 9a, you can find it on sale for as low as $99 in some places. Used market, maybe about, like, I see people selling it for like 250 bucks to 300 bucks. So you decide. Plug it in the comment section of the video. Hit the like button if you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for checking it out. I'll see you guys in the next one. Aloha.